between the Children's Hospital and the zoo is the meeting ground for the Kulin Nations, of which Wurundjeri is one of the 5 tribes. So Melbourne is like my backyard. It's very important to me. And I love coming here. I really love Melbourne. I'm very proud of the amount of things that we have, different things, and we have, I think there's 150 cultures in Melbourne. And I think we're very lucky to be able to come together without any fear of harm. And not many cities in the world can do that, and I think we're really lucky. We do have a very good council that thinks about the well-being of people and different cultures, and I think it's very pleasing. I'm glad that we're going to have this wonderful Knowledge Week, and hopefully people can share, and that's what it's all about, sharing our lives, you know, sharing our stories. We need to share our stories about who we are and where we come from. You know, if we share our stories about our tradition and our laws and our customs, and we really truly understand each other, we can live in harmony. And when we live in harmony, we eradicate racism. And our children and our up-and-coming future leaders actually benefit from that, from us doing that. They live in peace, and they can walk these streets without fear of any harm. And I think that's very important. And I'm lucky I get to do welcomes every day of my life. And so I check you, I talk to people every day. But you know, a lot of fears of different cultures are gone by talking and understanding. And it is a fear. We see things on TV that we get worried about. All we need to do is talk to each other and open our hearts and open our hands of friendship, and we can all journey together. It's very important. So I'd like to offer you my hand in friendship so that we can journey together. May Bunjil, my Creator, surround you all and keep you safe on country. On behalf of my elders, I say Womanjika, Wurundjeri Ballot Yumungundibi, and that means welcome to the home of Wurundjeri country. I wish to welcome you from the tops of the trees to the roots in the ground. So we look after each other and we look after country. Country truly looks after us. Nun Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Auntie Diane. Tonight's is a terrific evening. It's a celebration of the hard work that's been undertaken by many, many people so far. It hasn't just happened on the night. We have many partners, many of whom are here tonight, so thank you to all of you who put in the effort to create this week that we have in front of us. We couldn't do it without you. I also want to acknowledge the team at the City of Melbourne, the Melbourne Knowledge Week team, who's been working absolutely tirelessly. I happen to know the hours they've been doing because I've been getting some strange emails at strange times of night. They've been working amazing. They're an amazingly talented group, and I really appreciate all the work, and I know that everybody here is going to thoroughly enjoy the results of your efforts. The hub that we gather in tonight is an amazing meeting place. It's a place for us to all get together and meet each other, but also a place to think about some of the innovations, some of the great ideas, some of the new knowledge that's emerging from so many people. The networking events that we have throughout the week will allow us to build on this evening's work, and some of the organisations here tonight, you'll have many opportunities to see some of the amazing things that they've been doing in the City of Melbourne over the last few years. But joining us tonight to officially open the Knowledge Week events this year, and to tell you more, I'd like to introduce Councillor Dr. Jackie Watts, who's the chair of the Knowledge City Portfolio.
Good evening, everyone, and from the outset, I would like to welcome the Councillor Cathy Oak, Councillor Stephen Mayne, and of course our Deputy Lord Mayor, Susan Riley, our CEO Ben Rimmer, who's here, and of course Kate Minnow, our marvellous Director of City Strategy and Place, and welcome everybody. And what a lovely welcome we just had, didn't we, from Auntie Di, and I too would like to pay my respects to the Kulin Nation, given that we are meeting tonight on their land. And as Chair of the Knowledge City Portfolio, I really want to make specific mention of the knowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have brought to us in our nation, and they continue to bring it to us. And this is a knowledge that is quite unique to this land and has been acquired over thousands of years, and we must no longer ignore this legacy. And I think it's very important that we make note of this in Melbourne Knowledge Week. So welcome. This is a time tonight, isn't it, to celebrate our opening. It's going to be a very exciting evening, and you haven't really come to hear me. I want you to just know that the City of Melbourne is very proud of Knowledge Week. It's our 7th consecutive year. Not bad. Enduring, sustainable in this city of ours, and it promises to be a week of celebration of much, I would say, that is quintessentially Melbourne, our Melbourne anyway, a savvy, smart city populated by people such as yourselves who are excited by things of the mind. Yes, we love our sport, yes, we love the arts, the food, the fashion, but in my view, there's lots of evidence that we really, really relish being at the cutting edge, and we are an extraordinarily enthusiastic mob, really relating well and grasping new ideas and any fascinating new technology and ways of doing things, which hopefully will improve our lives. Now, Melbourne's a smart city today, but it's always been a smart city, so let's not forget this. It was a wealthy city built on gold, but the really key thing was the people, and it's still the people. We were extraordinarily fortunate to be able to attract all the energetic, ambitious entrepreneurs in our migrants over the years, the thought leaders of their day. And if you doubt this has occurred, consider the collection we're showing at the Black Box exhibition down at Town Hall. I hope that you'll all get down and have a look. It showcases marvellous inventions from Melbourne over the last decades. And you'll say to yourself, as I did, where on earth did they get that idea from? Well, now we know, don't we? Great ideas come from Melbourne, then and now. And all of them will bring joy to the world. I go down there. Well, in relation to perhaps stubby holders and eskies, our Lord Mayor spoke today and cited his favourites. I think it was the esky, the stubby holder and the dim sim. So, good ideas in Melbourne. I'm following his joke, and it was a very good one. But I just want to remind you that we also invented Wi-Fi, so there you go. Now, clearly, this historic outpouring of invention and intellectual buoyancy continues to this day. Melbourne remains at the heart of the nation's intellectual and creative efforts. It is the powerhouse of Victoria's prosperous economy. Now, it would be a mistake, in my view, to attribute this prosperity, as some would claim this week, to the property boom. Not so. Those of us who read the tea leaves have known for a long time that our economic prosperity is, of course, fed by the booming knowledge sector, worth 60 billion and employing 2/3 of our workforce. And many of these jobs upon which our prosperity is based, most sustainably based, are in the knowledge industries. So there you go. I hope with me that you're going to enjoy the next 7 days of Knowledge Week. The city will be abuzz with all things related to the knowledge sector. And our theme this year is a beauty, I reckon, connecting minds and creating change. I especially like the connecting minds bit because Knowledge Week is just going to do that, showcasing the latest technologies, the projects, the innovations in all sorts of fields that sometimes alarm me, like the robotics and various bioengineerings and all sorts of things. But anyway, good, it's all good. Bringing these marvels to our wider community in our smart, generous, stimulating city where the community as a whole gets up close and personal with leading ideas and innovations. so that they can cope with the change that's happening all around us, get to understand it, get to embrace it, and get to be engaged with it. We don't want anybody left behind in our city at all. So during this week, Melburnians will be able to connect with the best and brightest minds and ideas, enjoy the fascinating work in 65 interactive events at many venues, pick up the program. It seems that this particular mix that our marvellous administrative staff have put together, truly, I kid you not, they are miracles here. The mix must have been really good because it's already captured the collective imagination of Melbourne. We've pre-sold 9,000 tickets and 30 events have been sold out. How much evidence is that already? That Melburnians really do have a thirst for the new. We are a curious bunch. And no doubt you'll all respond really well when you go to see all of these things. Some very odd things are happening. Personally, augmented reality, I can barely spell it, but it's probably a very good thing. Augmented reality is changing neurosurgery. Another very scary idea, I think, neurosurgery. We're going to be seeing why accountants are working with coders in the botanic gardens. No idea, probably good. Discovering what the big three is and why it has some of our brightest data scientists scratching their heads. Well, if they're worried, how on earth can I manage it? And of course, it's all going to happen, much of it is right here at the hub. There'll be networking opportunities, a virtual reality lounge, pop-up co-working areas and much more, something for everyone in our community. Which leads me back, doesn't it, to the actual aim of Knowledge Week. Not only because we're all smart and savvy, but the key to it all is that it's a week-long, mutually beneficial interface between the knowledge sector and the wider community. So it's going to foster, I hope, lovely serendipitous connections leading to future collaborations among the sector stakeholders, but most importantly, from my point of view, it will enable the wider community to engage with these ideas, concepts, innovations and projects which are actually going to transform their lives. So unless they're on board, it's going to be a disturbing future. So this is why our knowledge sector and our Knowledge Week is so very important. It's important to our future prosperity, and it will ensure that we are a resilient city in many ways. I'm not just talking green resilience, I'm talking economic resilience and social resilience. It's a big mix, and we think we're setting people up in the city. So look, tonight's launch is in itself a celebration for me and for the administration working so hard to bring you to this, and for our council, which is 100% behind the knowledge sector and 100% behind the idea of bringing the community with us. So what we want to do is ensure that Melbourne remains a really great place to live, to work, to think, and of course to prosper. So on behalf of our city, the council, I would like to thank our wonderful partners who have so generously offered their energy, their intellect and their workplaces to the people of Melbourne. So on behalf of the city, I thank Melbourne University. This is partners for tonight, at the moment. Melbourne University, United Make, the Commons and Deakin University. They've contributed to this space and tonight very well. And tonight's exhibitors, if I could mention augmented reality experts, Melbourne University School of Engineering, Scan, 3D, and Brainery. And of course, there are over 70 event partners who also make this festival possible. So it's a really terrific collaboration, you'd have to agree, between the public and private sector, the knowledge stakeholders and the community. It's terrific, and I'm thrilled, and it gives me great pleasure, as you can tell, I'm sure, to declare Melbourne Knowledge Week officially open. Have a
thank you very much to Councillor Watts for that passionate and heartfelt welcome to Melbourne Knowledge Week. And I'd also like to acknowledge Councillor Watts' leadership of the Knowledge Portfolio and her passion that she brings to that as well. Now, we haven't quite finished the speeches. You can have a bit of quiet, please. Thank you, and thank you, Councillor Watts, once again. I would like to now, to continue the celebrations, hand the mic over to Melbourne-based artist, teacher and creative technologist Brad Hammond, who's also our very own inaugural Melbourne Knowledge Fellow. So welcome to the stage and have a lovely evening, and thank you, everybody.
Welcome everybody. Like I said, my name is Brad Hammond. I'm the 2014 Melbourne Knowledge Fellow, the inaugural Melbourne Knowledge Fellow. During my fellowship, I researched and reported on fostering creative technologists and maker communities, and the benefits that these communities can have in motivating people to pursue STEM skills through creative pursuits as well. STEM being science, technology, engineering and mathematics, which is a large focus for our government because we need people in those fields. When I was asked to curate this, presentations for tonight, I thought it was a great opportunity to bring together some of the people that I know around Melbourne that themselves are artists, but generally that are actually coming from a scientific, engineering, mathematics background. So tonight we've got presenters from Deakin University Motion Lab, Stephanie Andrews and Jordan Vincent, and Skunk Control and Andrew Sorensen. I'm not going to keep you much longer for the moment, so for about the next 15 minutes, grab a beer, mill around, check out the VR lounge, speak to the space guys that are launching micro-satellites. They're doing some extra cool stuff. Yeah, and in 15 minutes we'll introduce the Skunk Control to the stage, who have made these amazing sculptures that they'll tell you about. Thank you.